Hi, my name is Marian Babalaji, and this is In and Out the Circle. This is a parenting, family-oriented program where we discuss everything that has to do with our family lives and the very things that happen in our homes. Now, like many other episodes to come, you are going to enjoy and appreciate the very things we think and know in our homes. We have not been able to sit down to plan and strategize how to handle some of these problems in our homes. So today we're going to discuss a topic that borders around our everyday lives in our homes: parental favoritism. Some of us are victims. Some of us are also culprits. These things happen in our homes not because we are conscious of them, but probably because we are humans. I have with me Mr. Justice Enin, and then Miss Sandra Adade, and my very own Mr. Bernard Bafojewu. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, parental favoritism. I believe that we have issues in our homes. You have talked to us, you have come on the show to have a discussion. And I believe that sometimes it gets into the very core of our family lives. Mr. Enin.
Exactly, Auntie Marian. My home is on fire. My home is on fire because my wife here, we have 2 kids, 2 girls, 5 beautiful girls. But my wife virtually sticks to one, and the other is non-existent in the dictionary.
No. Is this what we're here for?
Yes, we are here because I'm bothered. It disturbs me, it worries me, and I think that we need to get.
What have I done wrong?
Equia is your favorite, obviously, and then Amma doesn't exist in your dictionary.
Equia took after me. She's smart, confident. So what can I do?
Mr. and Mrs. Enin, what exactly is the problem? Let me hear from you.
Thank you, Auntie. We have 2 beautiful girls, like I said earlier. Amma is the first girl and Equia is the second girl. Obviously, Amma is the firstborn. She has been with us for a while before Equia came in. And I expect that the friendship between us and Amma should have been probably stronger because we've spent more time with her. But for some time, it is quite obvious that Equia seems to have a center stage in my wife's life. Everything about her is Equia. Her actions towards Equia is very different from towards Amma. Even in feeding, when Amma says I'm hungry, she has to respond to her at her own timing. But if Equia calls, food must be ready. If Equia doesn't like the food, it will be changed. If Amma doesn't like it, you better eat it or go hungry or sleep hungry. And it's becoming worrying in the house. Amma doesn't feel comfortable in her presence anymore. Until I'm there, Amma is not herself. And I believe that we need to come to an end to this.
Before you continue, who is the eldest?
Amma.
Okay, and Amma is the unfavored child?
Yes.
All right. Mrs. Enin, do you actually accept that you actually favor one of your kids than the other?
I wouldn't really say that. All I know is that Equia took after me. She's smart, confident. She likes to go out with me. And I can't force Amma to go out with me if she doesn't want to.
Sorry to cut you, but if you say Equia took after you, it means that, and she's smart, it means that Amma is not smart.
Ask her.
No, really, she's not. I'm
And
sorry.
Amma took after me. Doesn't mean I'm dumb.
I'm not saying that.
That's what you just said.
Let's get to the point. Let's focus on what we are discussing. At the end of the day, has your child ever spoken to you about this? Do you have any friction moments at home?
All I know is that Equia is mostly with me, while she likes to withdraw from me.
So when she withdraws, where does she go to? Out of the house? In her room? What does she do?
It's mostly at the corner.
And you don't care?
Like
And
I
you
said,
don't care.
Like I said, she doesn't want to be around me, so there's hardly anything I can
Why
do.
wouldn't she want to be around you?
Listen, Enin, I would prefer that
Thank
you keep your cool until it's your turn to talk. So, you have had this conversation at home?
Yes, several times.
And you haven't had any resolution from it?
No, because she doesn't want to.
No, if you are saying this, then I'll also be forced to say that you also favor Amma.
How?
Yes.
How? I do that basically to compensate for your absence in her life. That is all I can do for my daughter.
Absence?
Exactly. That's
She
what that's
chooses
the
not
word
to
I'll
be
use.
sociable. There's nothing I can do about that.
How? She wasn't born that way. It is the environment and the things she saw or she keeps seeing.
The environment.
that will
Akua is
affect
in the
her.
same environment.
And you are giving Akua a good environment by your actions. And obviously she's not getting it. Okay. Besides, Akua came to meet her. So what has changed?
So, Mrs. Enin, before I go back to Mr. Enin, is there anything you think you can do to make the child feel, I'm more concerned about the child right now. It's not even about whether you are right or wrong. Is there anything you can do to make the child feel more comfortable?
I think I can try and see if she'll come closer. That's the best I can do.
Auntie, I want practical. How are you going to try it? How?
Ms. Enin, how long have you been married?
December will be 8 years.
And how old is your first child?
7.
Okay. So I can see you in your wedding ring?
Yeah.
Mrs. Enin, I don't see your ring yet.
She is quite allergic to the metal. That is what I know. But if there's any other reason, I don't know.
There is no other reason.
Okay. I would want to assume that there might be other issues aside this favoritism part, but probably we'll come to it later. Mr. Bafo.
Yes, Auntie.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Enin. You've heard for yourself.
Okay. I think for me, it is normal for a parent to love one child more than the other. But I think a parent should also try to at least concede that kind of a love that she may have, or he or she may have for one of the children. So, Mrs. Enin's reactions appears a little queer to me. She seems to be so much hard on Amma, and she seems to love the other
7-year-old, that is.
Yes, yes. And I don't know whether the husband is also handling the whole issue well.
Very well.
Because he seems to take a stance instead of trying to convince the wife to at least to be nice and all that. It appears they are fighting.
Yeah.
That they shouldn't fight when we have 2 kids. So I don't know if you can advise them to probably, or you can also come in and then give them some sort of advice that will make the stance a little softened.
Mr. and Mrs. Enin, if the issues bother just around one child being favored than the other, then we could talk about it, unless there are other issues. If there are other issues, it's going to make this discussion fruitless. No,
Auntie, there are no other issues. I'll be glad if we can talk about it, because Uncle Bafo said, it looks like I've taken a stance. That is because persuasion is failing. And therefore, I think that for the good of our home, it must be enforced so that we can have peace in our home.
When did this start? When did you actually notice that one child was favored than the other?
I think about 6 months after Akua came in. I mean, Akua was born. Obviously, she was a baby, so we all adore at that early stage. But when she crossed 1 year and then
she was still a baby.
I know, but it was becoming very obvious. As she grew, the age difference between them is 4 years. As she grew, it became quite so clear to see. And that was disturbing, to the point that Amma noticed that. She even asked me, Daddy, am I Mommy's daughter?
Can I ask a question?
Please do.
Has the discrimination affected Amma in any way? Any impact, negative impact on Amma?
Yes. Amma is not fine with her mom's presence.
Is
that my fault?
Whose fault will it be?
Is she dull?
You choose to
she's
get her closer to you. He chooses to get her closer. So I don't know where this is coming from.
She has to come home from school to do her homework. If the mom is there, she will not want to go Bible, because when the mommy comes, it's going to be war. Until I come home, she will not be comfortable to do her work.
It's about
That's
what?
because she chooses to be comfortable with you and not with me.
How will she choose?
So again, Mrs. Enin, you do accept that the child is not comfortable with you.
Yes.
All right. I think that's
And you're okay with it.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm trying very hard to get her closer to me. But
Then
it looks
try
like
harder.
it's not working. It is not working.
Before we had a queer, was there a problem between you and Amma?
There was no problem.
But
I was
3
just
to
taking
4
care
years,
of
solid
a
friendship.
baby.
How did it change all of a sudden? Incidentally, her physical appearance looks like you, but you claim Ikea took after you.
I doubt that.
Okay, so obviously it's quite clear that Mrs. Enin, you wouldn't even want your child to be linked to you so much because she doesn't exhibit the traits you want to see in her. I think that your story is quite clear.
And I'm sure if Mrs. anywhere to be a man,
Yes.
he would have denied.
Mr. Bafo, that brings us
Thank
to
you.
paternity.
Bafo, thank
I
you
think
very
that
much. Thank you very much.
Yes. Now, because she's a woman, she can never deny the maternity of a child. But if she were a man, the way she's speaking, I'm very sure she would have said he wasn't responsible for it.
Well, since Mrs. Enin is here, let's put the question to her. Mrs. Enin, would you have denied your child if you were a man? The paternity of your child?
It's
I don't
clear.
think I can
It's clear.
answer that.
It's
You
clear.
cannot answer whether you
It's
would.
clear.
No, I can't.
Oh, right. Okay, so Ms. Enin, let's come back to the situation. Look, this is not a win or lose situation. I think that this whole favoritism thing is not alien in other homes. We have the same things happening in so many homes. But then the way we handle these things. You have 2 children, and you are a couple. You are also 2. It doesn't mean one for me, one for you.
Exactly.
I would say that both for us. And once we have both for us, it means that we have to do every and anything to make sure that these 2 children we have brought into this world will be as comfortable. So for any reason, if the child is not behaving like you want her to behave, that is why she is a child. That is why you are the mother. Mrs. Enin is the only person, I wouldn't even want to say at fault, but I think that we should be realistic with the issues at hand. If you have 2 children and one seems to show you the traits you want to see, you are happy with the way one behaves, you appreciate the traits the child has in the most positive way, obviously you will have a certain attraction to the child. But especially when the child is not alone, that means that your special attention to this child would also mean a special neglect to the other one. These children do not stop being your children. They will be your children to the very end. And when they become adults, and as they evolve and as they change, for all you know, the traits of this very child you ignore or you do not favor may benefit you someday. So let's be careful. Mrs. Enin, when it comes to children, it is not about what I want and what I will take. There is no return policy with children. You cannot return the child you do not want. Even if, I'm going to use this phrase, even if you have to pretend to love your child, you have to. And it's not about, I have chosen, this one is my responsibility to take the other one. You will have your regrets later. And Mr. Enin, I don't think it's about also saying that, oh, mommy likes this one, so let me also give you this attention. Or you know your mother doesn't like you. Don't reinforce or affirm that part of the situation. All you are doing is you are reminding the child that, you know what, in my absence, you don't have a mother. But whether the mother appreciates or wants her or not, she's still her mother. You may have to find ways to warm the child up to the mother. This is not about you have to do better. She's human. So what can you do to help her to make the situation better? Mr. Bafo, I believe you understand my direction.
Yes, I understand it because by all means, as a mother, you should have something in that daughter of yours that you should like. I know you may not like all the things that the girl has, but at least there should be something, even if it is a small thing. You should have something to love your child for. So I'm sure if you sit down and then look at it closely. Now the fact is, if the child is not there, it is only when the child is not there that you get to know that you miss something about the person. That is basically how life is. When the person is around, you may not see all the things in her or in him that you like. But when the person is away, that is where you get to see that there's one thing or there's something that you want the child to be close to you because of that thing. And so I think if Mrs. Enin will sit down and take a closer look at Amma, by all means there will be something that she would love to see in her all the time. So as you love the other one, try and look for something positive in the other one too, and based on that you can love the two of them. Even not equally, you try to force to love them equally.
And you see, love is within you. Until you show it, nobody will see what love you have for one person. So yes, you know that you may even be attracted to this particular child more than the other. But until you show it, so then you have to make a conscious effort to also show same love, more or less, to the other child, Mrs. Enin. I hope you understand the direction of this conversation.
Yes, please.
And you do appreciate that you do not have a choice to say that I do not love a child as much as I love the other.
Yes, please.
That could even be only in your head, in your heart, and it will stay in there. Because once that child has come to you, like I said, these kids are not bought from the supermarket. They have a no return policy. They are for keeps.
I think so.
I pray that after this discussion, we'll be able to have a better home, a more settled environment. Mrs. Enin, what do you intend to do better this time?
You know, I still don't understand why I'm being blamed for this. I don't get it. But I'll try my best. I'll try and pull Amma along when we are going out. But
I don't think we are expecting you to try. I want you to do it.
Ms. Enin, I think that you should keep your cool.
Just as we are talking, he doesn't like to go out. Probably she took it from him. So
what is the point?
You are supposed to come out with us.
That is not going to benefit us in any way. These are young people. At least you go to a place that has some sort of education. Just roaming around. I mean, what is the point in just roaming around, going to places full of noise?
We go to the mall.
To do what?
To shop.
Just to shop. How would a three-year-old child shop?
They have things they like. They have things they want. See what I'm talking about?
Every
week you have to go for shopping, every Saturday for shopping. How beneficial is that to the child?
From what I'm gathering from this conversation again, it's actually to do with the differences between the two of you. And I think you have just extended to your children.
I wouldn't really say that, but the point is that
he doesn't like to go out.
I would
and
like
it's not
to
my
go out
fault
to a place
that you don't
that
like
will
going
benefit
out.
us in a good way. But just going to shop every Saturday, going to shop, how does it make the child better in any way? If you are going to a place where they are going to have playing with learning, I believe that the child will be willing to go. And I will follow as well if it has to come to that point. But just to go out shopping, go to listen to music and just come back home. How does that change anything about the child or make it beneficial to the child?
Mr. Bafo.
Yes, still, the problem is between the two parents.
It's between the two parents.
Not the kids. The fact is, if you go out and you think it's for nothing that the mother goes out, but if you stay in the house, what do you also gain? So I think they should compromise.
No, let's find
Staying
out.
in the house and doing nothing, is it better than going out and doing nothing?
Let's find out from Mr. Enin what he stays in the house for. What do you do in the house? What do you do with a child in the house?
We have fun.
Like,
And shopping is not fun.
Mrs. Enin, I would prefer that I do the questioning. Like,
Anything that interests her and we can lay our hands on in the house, we have it.
like,
She likes to play with her toys. She likes to watch kiddie programs. She likes to have fun with friends.
We like to shop.
Ms. Enin,
Auntie,
we cannot do one thing all the time. Mr. Bafo was talking about compromising. Maybe we'll have to share in here some way, somehow. That's even just with the outing. I want to believe that with how you're describing your lives, there are more differences you have than what you have even shared here.
we've learned to live with our differences as couple whilst we're dating and then as we got married. It looks like it's becoming different again because children have come in. But we were okay with ourselves.
But do you know that the children have their own lives? They came with their own temperaments, their own preferences.
Yes, I do.
And you know that you being in their environment is influencing their choices and their preferences as well.
Yes, please.
And so for that reason, you may have to compromise to give both children some kind of life that may not be in a particular person's life. If Mrs. Enin likes to go shopping and you like to stay home, you cannot stay home with one child forever. She cannot go out shopping with one child forever. Mrs. Enin, it looks like you have given up on the whole situation.
I have not, but I don't understand why I'm always being blamed. I don't get it.
Mr. Bafo.
Family issues become very difficult, especially when kids come in. If the two of them, they are the only ones in the family, life is easy because if the mother, or if the woman understands the man, that is the end. If the man also understands the woman, that is the end. But if there are kids in there, that is where you have to extend the understanding also too. Now we have two kids. One is being favored by the mother, and I think the father is also favoring the other.
He has made his pick.
So the best thing that they can do is they should bring all of them together. So going out with one, I think it will also be better for the father also to tag along when the mother is going out. And the mother also should learn to cut down the outing, just at least as a form of compromise to favor the father too.
To meet the father halfway.
Halfway.
Yes.
Maybe when they begin to go out, the father will even love to go out all the more.
We just do it only on Saturdays.
Every Saturday.
Yes, because we had a long week.
It could be a fortnightly or something.
Mrs. Enin, will that work for you?
For the sake of the kids.
For the sake of the kids.
I think we'll try and work something out.
You keep using the word
Try.
Mr. Enin, now you're picking words from my mouth. I would prefer I use my own words.
Then she should also say something. If the lady is ready to, the woman is ready to try, is the man also ready to try?
Are you ready to try?
I will do.
Ask him.
So use the word try. The two of you.
Is this the first time you've had a third person come in with in on this particular discussion?
I wouldn't say so.
No.
Because
So then
my mom noticed it when the children, we all went for vacation at the end. And when we returned, she had to call me and ask me what is
You just
happening.
had your mind made up. You were not ready to listen to anything.
This
had
is a
his
third
mind
party
made
calling to ask me what is happening because she saw. How did that come to me that my
What did
mind
she
is made
see?
up? I told you, and you are aware.
I think that, you see, whether someone has come in or not, you cannot score points with your children, Mr. and Mrs. Eni. You cannot score points with Amma, and you cannot score points with Ikea. They are only children. What do you want to achieve with this? If you want to make the children happy, then it means you are building your home. If you're building your home, you are together on this project. Building a home is a continuous project. It never ends. So there's nothing like I don't know what to do anymore.
And I really want to cut you short, but I'll be very grateful if we can get to that point where we are building our home. Because as it stands now, our home is divided.
As it stands now, you are building your home and she's building her house.
Exactly.
No, you are actually building your house too. It's not a home you are building.
Yeah.
You see, and it looks, you're trying to portray the picture that you're doing a better job, probably because,
Yes.
you know, you seem to think that, oh, she started. I am only compensating.
I have the challenge because it wasn't so until Equia. We had Equia. When it was only Amma, we didn't have this friction. That is where my worry is. So it is not as if it was there all the while. When Equia wasn't there, she found Amma loving. She found her okay.
Amma likes to tag along with you. Equia likes to tag along with me. I don't see anything wrong with
Until
that.
Equia came in 4 years later. How was the situation like? So I believe that even to the point that though they are little, they find it difficult to play, especially if we are not there.
Because they have different lives.
Exactly. And they've been made to think in different ways. You are.
So now tell us what you want to do.
I want my home to be built again. I want unity. I want all the two kids to love themselves, to play like sisters. They are not even male and females. And I don't see why they can't flow along.
Fine. Mrs. Eni, what do you want? What do you want from all this whole thing?
I think I'll agree with him. But like I said, I'll be trying my best.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an interesting discussion, and I believe that the very things this family, or the very issues this particular family is going through, we have it in our homes one way or the other. We are one way or the other victims, and we are also culprits as well. We can only keep trying. Like I always say, nobody's perfect at this. Nobody's a scholar at parenting. We all keep doing our best every time, and we cannot give up on it. Thank you once again for staying with us through this episode. This is In and Out the Circle, and my name is Marian Babalaji. We are so grateful to you for joining us to the very end. Join us on all our social media handles: YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. In and Out the Circle is the name. And comment, like, subscribe, and share. Until we meet again. Bye.